A lot of people reason that, well, what difference does it make if we use ancient pagan festivals and all their accoutrements and so on? As long as we do all this to the true God, what difference does it make? A lot of people reason that way, and God takes issue with that in Deuteronomy, the 12th chapter, verses 29 through 32. And he talks about Israel going into the promised land, and they're going to dispossess a lot of these ancient pagan nations, and of course they had a lot of their customs. And he says in verse 30, he says, "Take heed to yourself," meaning be careful, "that you be not snared by following them. After that they be destroyed from before you, and that you inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Did they have prayer wheels? Did they have joss sticks? Did they have trees that they decorated and so on? Did they use all these things to worship their gods? How did these nations serve their gods? Even so, I will do likewise." Now what's the context? Notice verse 31. "You shall not so do unto the eternal, your God." That's the context. God is saying here that whatever they use to worship their gods with, you're not going to use those things to worship me. I mean, a lot of these pagans used human sacrifice to worship their gods. Are we going to do the same thing to the true God? Absolutely not. So God says here, "You shall not so do unto the eternal your God, for every abomination to the eternal which he hates have they done to their gods, for even their sons and their daughters have they burnt in the fires to their gods." And what, we're going to turn around and use that to the true God? Absolutely not. Now, if you're God, well then I think you should have a say on how you should be worshipped, don't you? I think you do, if you're God. And he knows what's right and what's wrong. He knows where a lot of these things came from, what their sources are. And he knows what he commanded Israel. And God wants us to follow what he commanded Israel and not follow the pagans. He knows what's right and what's wrong. And he says, "Whatsoever thing I command you," what did he command Israel to do? What are the festivals? "Whatsoever thing I command you, observe to do it. You shall not add to it, nor shall you diminish from it." God says, no matter what Frank Sinatra used to sing, do it his way, not your way. Get that free booklet, Is Christmas Christian? Free of charge off our website, britishisrael.ca. This is Peter Salemi saying goodbye, friends, and I'll see you here next time on the Watchman program.